We got Nick Moody on the pod. We just went for 25 minutes and I didn't have the camera on. But thank God I record the audio, dude. Thank God I record the audio. We'll be good to go. Yo, thank you so much for coming, man.
I appreciate you.
This shit is so cool.
Yeah, you're the man.
Thanks, dude. I appreciate it.
I got the stand and everything. I feel like Chris D'Elia. You know,
Chris D'Elia. I'm not even too familiar with Chris D'Elia, honestly. I just know he's a stand-up.
Not that funny.
I know he's a stand-up dude. Does he uses a stand, I assume?
Well, he's big in the podcast game. Like he's on the circuit with like Theo Vaughn and all them.
Didn't he just have something happen to him, like some like shit?
He's back. He got back. Yeah.
Okay, good.
But yes.
Because I think what I saw about him getting some shit, actually, Chris D'Elia was kind of like.
He got canceled.
But it was kind of like some like shit.
It wasn't
some wishy-washy like.
It wasn't good, but it wasn't like you're done forever.
Okay. Yeah.
I think it was like he's like grooming underage girls, which is pretty bad.
That's pretty bad, actually.
Yeah.
Damn.
A lot of it, like, not from what I understand, like a lot of it didn't actually happen.
Yeah.
It was just hearsay DMs and stuff. So.
Right.
Still probably not great.
Nah. I mean, like, where there's smoke, there's fire.
Yeah.
But yeah. Also, like, I feel like the internet shit kind of like runs with things sometimes and like creates
100%
a weird like thing. I don't know. Like, how do you feel about like cancel culture and shit?
I mean, it's gotten out of control just like anything else gets out of control.
Yeah.
It's just like the wrong people get involved with it and now we're canceling everybody. But at the same time, it goes away.
Yeah.
After a while, it goes away.
Right.
And I'm sure this is just another one of those fads that'll eventually but at the same time, it's costing people's careers.
Right.
So,
Costing people like a lot of money and stuff.
But, you know, luckily we're not famous enough to have to worry about that yet.
Yeah, no, of course. Do you ever think about like, because I always be thinking about like certain things that I like tweet or like say or like something I said like a few months ago. I don't know. Like,
you haven't checked yet?
You go on a rant.
You got to go back, dude.
Yeah. No, I mean, I haven't done anything crazy because I'm just not that guy, really.
I already did. I did a deep dive.
But I've been drunk before. Shit,
yeah,
like done some dumbass shit. Like,
we're human beings at the end of the day. Like,
right.
I've said dumb shit on Twitter, plenty of, like, especially, I'm older than you. I was on Twitter when it first started saying crazy shit when I was like, I don't know, 20, whatever it was. Like,
you're just like, look, I just tweeted that. Like, that shit's.
I went back.
Right.
You got to go back and delete that shit, man. Cover your tracks.
Yeah.
It was nothing, like you said, nothing crazy, but like, can I get roasted for this? Yes, I can.
Yeah. Yes, I can.
It's gotta go. It's gotta go.
That's crazy. Yeah. No, there's definitely some shit like that. Like, you like standing like, I don't know, like some like, I don't know, like Eminem Mad Hard or something.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Even that. Like, I mean, listen.
No, there's no problem. There's no problem with that.
I'll stand by that. Like, if I stand by the opinion now, I'll leave it.
Dude, some of the Eminem and like J. Cole disrespecting the internet is just so like boneheaded.
Eminem, it's tough, man. I don't understand why. Like what happened that switch got turned, but like he went from being like unanimously like a top 5 to being everyone being like he's overrated.
Right. I think he just got old.
I think so. I think that's really what it is. He didn't really like mature musically.
Right.
Like, you know, Jay-Z's able to put out a project like 444 and talk like he's your father now. And Eminem never did that. You know, I think that's the difference.
No, that's so true.
And look at Nas, bro. Like, Nas has completely... He just put out 2 crazy, crazy fire albums.
Yeah. That shit is unreal. Like King's Disease and shit with like Hit Boy.
They're 2 different trajectories, though, because like Nas was struggling for a bit. Like there was 3-4 albums in there where people weren't fucking with it and like he wasn't getting no traction.
Yeah. No, like 2015, I remember, like those, it's 2016, 2017, like he was coming out with stuff that wasn't necessarily. But and then it was like this Grammy nominated stuff recently. Yeah. Yeah, it's ill.
I listened to it like on a run and like I had no idea what song was which. It just sounded like one big ass fire song.
Yeah,
it was like all the beats switched. Like 20 minutes later.
No, it's really cool how he also like incorporates like the drill artists in some of the songs and like like different kinds of sounds and stuff. I don't know if he did that on the most recent album. I don't remember, but I know he did that on King's Disease 1.
It was I don't think there was any features on the new album, but he definitely Metro went crazy on not Metro, Hit Boy.
Hit Boy, yeah. Metro's another. I haven't listened to that new Metro.
I haven't either.
Yeah.
Everyone's telling me because he put the instrumentals up to hit one of them. I don't know.
Yeah, dude. I actually that's a good like segue into the Push and P remix that you did.
Yes.
That shit is fire, man.
You like that one?
I fuck with it. Yeah, it's dope.
Good, because I that's like my main goal for the start next year is to remix a bunch of shit. I have like 4 lined up.
I'd say just like do one a week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I bought a camera. So like, not that I like, I'm not crazy at it, but I could shoot like lyric remix videos.
100%. Your videos and like your creative direction with your videos is like fucking different.
I appreciate it.
There's not like
it's gonna get a lot more different. So I hope that you're on this journey with me.
No, dude, I'm here for it, man. I'm here for it. That sounds ill. All in the Family is crazy.
That's my favorite one.
Yeah.
That's my personal favorite. Just because getting Johnny to do that, and then the Sopranos guy, like, you don't know how long it took me to get that guy to do that.
The Sopranos guy,
Bro,
Vito?
I bothered that guy for 3 years.
Yeah.
He would just kept telling me no, and then finally he said yes.
That's so cool that you finally got him, though.
He's a hell of a guy.
So how did that end up happening? What was like the whole thing? So he was just saying no.
So
like,
I
how
work
did you end
at
up
that restaurant.
Okay, yeah.
I work at that restaurant. That's how I fund all this shit.
Yeah.
He comes in every now and then, and every time he would come in, I would, battle everybody to serve him. And I would just bother him. I'd be like, yo, we got to do something. I'm an artist. I shoot videos. He's like, oh, yeah, buddy, whatever. Yeah, buddy, whatever. And then I got Johnny, and Johnny knows him better than me. And Johnny's like, come on, bro. Just do the video for the kid. Like, you know what I mean? And then he's like, all right, fine, let's do it. And thank God. And came, he did it. We made it work. It was tough. It was, because with the restaurant, like, I wanted people to be in it. I wanted to have some of the guys that worked there to be in it.
Yeah.
So I couldn't get that restaurant open. That would have been too much. And so I had to settle for like us closing the restaurant.
Okay.
But I needed everybody there. So like the window after people have worked a 12-hour shift to wanting to close down and shut it. You know what I mean?
That's
so
when you're getting people to
right.
Get
So I had
video.
like a half hour to an hour to get him sat down, do the scene, and get it done. So it was like hella stressful, but we made it work.
That's fucking sick, dude.
We made it work. But yeah, when we put it together in post with the scenes that I had with my family and stuff like that. So
yeah,
it was cool. It was definitely what I was imagining, which doesn't always happen. So
yeah, that song's sick. So like you have like that one and Forget About It on the. I'm saying Forget About It like it's spelled.
That I infect
Forget
that.
about it.
I expect that whenever I talk to anyone, they throw on an Italian accent.
They show Forget About It. That's so cool. Like being an Italian rapper, I feel like is like I know like Russ is Italian, but like I feel like I think so. Yeah, he's Sicilian.
That makes sense.
I think so.
Sicilian makes sense.
Yeah.
He don't claim it like that though.
No, not nearly as much as you.
No.
Like no, that's kind of So like what like is that like a big important part to you, like your heritage?
Yeah, I mean that's just if you saw my family, you'd be like, oh, people at that table are my family. Like,
right.
They look it. You know what I mean? I don't necessarily look it, but yeah, that's how I grew up. It's my grandfather. My grandfather's name is Tony Pagano.
Right.
So it's just part of who I am, and it's fun to talk about. You know what I mean?
No,
it's
of
fun.
course.
It's fun to talk in that voice. That's my main go-to accent.
Yeah.
So
yeah, they recently added the like this emoji.
Have to. Has to be done.
That's like essential for your brand. You're like, holy shit, we have to.
I'm going away from the Italian thing with my next shit, but like I will be back.
Yeah, that's so sick.
Let it be known.
That's fucking awesome. No, I love that. Forget About It. And you have Jace. Isn't Jay Sos on that?
Yes, he is.
It's like not Italian.
He's not, but he's an honorary Italian.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and it's like Forget About It is so New York anyway. Like
you know what it was? I wanted it to be. When I thought about that song, I didn't think of like, being like gimmicky with the Italian thing. I thought of like a New York beat, and when you go into Brooklyn, it says "Welcome to New York." Forget about it.
Yeah,
that's what it says.
Right. Yeah.
So it's like Brooklyn Italian, whatever it is, like grimy New York beat, and nobody's a better rapper on that shit than So.
Yeah. Right.
So yeah, that was kind of. I still want to do a video for that one. I had a huge idea and it fell through.
I'm excited to see. I'm going to ask you what the video idea is, but I don't know if you want to share.
I got curved by Chaz Palminteri.
Who is that?
Bronxdale.
Oh.
Sonny from Bronxdale.
Ah, wow. Shoot. He was going to be in it?
I've talked to so many people. I went to his one-man show in Huntington. I tried to track this guy down. because I just can't.
This is why you're different, by the way. You have like you have a real work
I have an
ethic.
idea.
That's like
If I have an idea, I will go to great lengths to make it happen.
Yeah.
And that is why I'm still salty about this video, because he just was not having it. But I think there's still a way. But
is it like fuck you, pay me, or he just
not even like that. It just was. He just didn't really like give it the time of day.
Okay. Yeah.
You know, and I'm sure I could find somebody that could get in the same way that I got Vito, by getting somebody that he'll listen to.
Yeah.
But I haven't found that person, and I just haven't been able to get close enough to get to, to get him, because he's not super famous, but he's eating off that Bronx Tale thing for life. So
for life, yeah.
You don't need.
How did you get what's his name in the video? Sterling.
Oh, Aljamain?
Yeah.
I knew him through my sister. My sister knows him.
Okay. Because that was a tight video too, and that was also a song with Sos, right?
Yeah. It's also in both those. Yeah. Yeah, that was fun, because what happened was I was trying to. I had Aljamain, I had that footage, and I wanted to cut it up with something else. And I was talking to my boy Marcus from Social Media House, and he had a link with the fights, because It's Biscuit was doing the fights, and
there you go.
We did the intermission of the fights. We performed that in the ring.
Yeah.
That day, and we just cut the footage up with the Aljamain stuff.
Biscuit is a nice guy.
Biscuit, he's a great guy. He does a lot for Long Island. So,
when you go like all the way back to your first stuff, BuzzFeed is like your first video, and that one's like super well done. Like I look back at my first video, and it's like shop of my like homie in college.
That wasn't my first video.
Oh really?
It was like 10 more before that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're just trash, and I took
That's your. There you go. There you go. So that's your first video to me.
Yeah, exactly. See, that works. You know what I mean? You first to get to a point where you're like, all right, I'm proud of this as being the first one. Like,
yeah.
Because you want to show growth, you want to show like where you came from, but like some of that early stuff, no matter who you are, you're not making that shit happen.
No, yeah, totally. It's just super cringe.
My first video ever that's on my YouTube, private to me, has my ex-girlfriend that passed away in it.
Oh my god!
So it's like it goes deep.
Wow,
holy like unlisted
shit.
Videos, wild stuff.
That's crazy.
That was going on. That was a tough one.
Yeah. God
it's
damn.
tough to watch. I can't even watch that one.
Yeah. How long ago did you start rapping? Give me the like story.
Well, I started in college, but I wasn't serious about it. Really, because I played basketball in college, and that's a full-time job in itself. You know, being a college athlete.
That's so cool. What position did you play?
Mostly shooting guard.
Nice.
It depends. After I got hurt, definitely shooting guard. I lost the step. So.
Yeah.
But
we got to hoop sometime, even though I'm trash.
That's all right, man. I'm slow as shit now. I don't play no more.
Right.
I played over the weekend, and I can't even move.
Yeah.
My back hurts. Like I feel like a fucking old man. Those years add up, dude. Practicing 6-7 days a week. Fuck that. I don't know why I did that, but whatever. I was playing ball, so I wasn't like focused on rapping or whatever. I just was like, I've always been a writer, and I was in a bunch of creative writing classes, and I had got involved with like slam poetry for a minute.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, oh, some of my teammates would just tell me, like, why don't you just rap? And I was just like, okay. I started messing around with it.
Yeah.
Then I got into a group. I was in a group in college, like a duo, and we made a couple mixtapes and stuff like that. And like then I started taking it a little bit more seriously, but I still had basketball, so I was like,
right.
I was all over the place with what I wanted, really.
That's sick, though. You were putting the mixtapes out on, like, SoundCloud at the time, I assume, right?
Yeah, it was just SoundCloud. DatPiff was big back then.
DatPiff.
And shit like that. And then...
Dude, I kind of miss those days.
Right?
That was kind of fun.
It was a different time when Meek Mill broke DatPiff.
Right?
Completely different time.
Yeah.
You could freaking currenthip-hop.com getting the new Drake leak.
Yeah. Spinrilla. That was the one.
Spinrilla. Bro, I came up in the LimeWire days, so I don't know.
Right.
That was my shit.
Right.
That was when I was young, but still.
Yeah. I was a little bit like past the LimeWire, but I had like an iPod Touch when I was in like 5th grade, 6th grade. And I remember because I obviously wasn't going to like buy albums at the time. Like it was like right before Spotify, but like right in the time, like, I don't know, it was still like when you had to buy like music. I just remember like YouTube to MP3ing like
everything,
like everything, bro, like every fucking thing. Like looking at like the track list of an album and being like, okay, I need to YouTube to MP3 every song. And then you get like a couple of them that were just like fucked up or like wrong or something, and then you like. And I remember like listening back, I think it's like Watch the Throne. Like I still listen to it and I'm like, I still think of like fucked up versions of songs that I had like
that
back
happens,
in the day.
Bro.
Yeah.
There was I remember I have a leaked fucking God Loves Ugly I had of Atmosphere. Yeah. And there was a part on the song
that
was not there.
Really?
It was just like I don't know what it was. And now like I listened to the song expecting that to happen and it don't happen.
Just like fuck.
I forget what it was. It was something crazy. I forget what it was.
Just like an extra verse or something.
It wasn't a verse. It was just like sounds that I thought he put in there, but they weren't.
Wow.
It was weird. But so I feel you on that, man. That was a different time, though.
Yeah.
That was fun.
But honestly, I wanted to go to Atmosphere because you be talking like Atmosphere. The first time we ever met, you were like, tell me about Atmosphere and shit. But then you got like the Push and P remix. So like, where do you find like the recent Push and P mix? Where do you find like a, balance with like your style?
Well, I don't know. Like, as much as I like Atmosphere, like I know that his music wouldn't really work now.
But I feel like also taking parts of it is like
you take the essence of it,
or like pieces of it. I feel like is probably very important.
But the sound of it, the pacing and the drum choices are not the same. And I just sometimes I just want to have fun. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
With these remixes, I just want to like have a good time with it and like put my spin on it, even if it's not like my brand. Like just like have fun.
No,
and,
of course.
With Push and P, we were in California. I was just like, I got to do this. It has to be done. We were just driving around with that BMW I rented for the other video. So we had like 3 videos going on at the same time.
Yeah, that shit was sick. That came out so well.
I went out there with Nick, my girlfriend Nikki. Well, she wasn't my girlfriend at the time, but and Christina Capus, who's an artist as well. And we all like made her video. We made La La Land. And then we had the car. I was like, we got to do Push and P in the back.
We got to do Push and P. Fuck it. It's like the same day you were doing La La Land, probably.
Yeah, it was. Nikki was driving the car.
That's sick.
I had Kat with me, Kat Rardy.
That's sick.
But yeah, I guess like, I don't know. Remixes I think are just, just for fun and stuff like that. But
do you listen to a lot of trap?
I try to listen to everything just to get an idea of what's going on. I mean, I wouldn't turn it on. A lot of it I don't listen to again. I'll tell you that,
right.
But
it's kind of a stupid question. I feel like trap is kind of like pop now, basically.
It is. Like you can't avoid it. Like, I don't know. Like, you got drill and all these new drill artists and stuff like that. But I just think that there's a creative way to do any of it and stay current. You know what I mean? And that's what I'm trying to do with my next project. Is just like how do we keep the tempo and bring our vibe, you know what I mean? Bring our aesthetic to the music. Yeah. And I was talking to you before, like, as much as I am proud of my last project, it was to the untrained eye. And like people who just look at Instagram or YouTube, like the aesthetic is all over the place. You got light music, you got poppy music, you got trappy music, you got dark fucking hip hop.
I see what you mean in terms of like maybe like the end of like 9 Lives, like when a buckshot versus like take some time.
Exactly.
But honestly, I still think it's pretty cohesive. But that's just because it's moody. It's a moody album.
Because you're actually listening to the project from the back.
Right. Well, I have a few times.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. But being real, and that's why I'll sit down with you anytime, just because people who appreciate music like that are few and far between, man. Like that doesn't happen. So it's
but also I don't listen to like everyone's project. I listen to people who I like.
Well, I appreciate that even
more.
But still.
Like, I mean, see you doing your thing whenever I've like seen you doing a show, and I'm like, holy shit! Like, as someone who records music, I'm like, what does he do? Like, I'm just very curious, even from like a help like selfishly like make myself better standpoint, like what's going on over here sort of thing. And that's how I approach like looking at any artist I fuck with. Like I was telling Buddy Lofton, I'm like, I'd be on his ass because I'm like, bro, you need to drop another album. Like what the fuck? Right. So I like love his music. I'm just like, bro, where is it? Like I know you have it, like where, just give it, like come on, bro. But that's how I feel like that's like I don't know, it's like the least I could fucking do is just like real shit, I guess. Like why else do I consider Yeah, I don't know. It's like, what else is it worth if you don't listen to the people's music? If you're like, I don't know.
Yeah, and like I'm saying though, like most people aren't like that, and even like you saying, like you don't do that to everybody, you know. So it's when you look at it from like an outsider's perspective, as somebody who's not going to listen to the whole project, it does appear that way.
Yeah,
It appears all over the place to somebody who will look at. I remember like this guy who owns my restaurant who doesn't know anything about rap music or whatever. But from a strictly business perspective, he like, I look at your page, I'm like, why?
Mm-hmm.
Why?
Yeah.
Why am I looking at your page?
Right.
Why?
You've been recording with Blvff for like, what, like 2 years now?
2 years, yeah. Close to it, yeah. Yeah, man, it's been crazy because that only happened because of the pandemic. I don't think that would have happened if the pandemic didn't happen.
Really?
Because like we kind of like, he was just hitting me up from Instagram.
Yeah.
And I guess basically just because I was going crazy advertising and like doing all these little videos and stuff like that. And then we met up and like I was like, oh shit, we just immediately had a vibe. Yeah. And we just, you know, I've been in there once a week since.
No, it's crazy what his production does for your sound. Because the switch ups in the album, I was telling this, we were talking about this last time I saw you, like in Voodoo. Like the second half of Voodoo is probably my favorite part of this song. Like when the hi hats get faster and shit, and you're like, that's a
he's a wizard, man.
Does he think of that, or do you like that those switch ups?
It really depends. Like a lot of it's what I say happened with Madhouse was I was going in there and we were just like, how do we feel today? Yeah, you know what I mean. Like what's up? Like, and then I remember
that's the best way to make music.
Yeah, and like you know I think I remember distinctly with 9 Lives, I wanted it to do that. I wanted to have like this crazy switch up. But I think Voodoo was him. Like he was just like, nah, dude, what happens if it switched this way and it got like pretty instead of being so dark and melancholy and stuff like that. I was like, oh, you think that the hook could work there? You know what I mean? Like, right. It's just like, and that's the difference of like working with your producer in house. Yeah. You know what I mean? A lot of rappers, which is crazy to me, just are either, you know, getting beat packs or whatever.
Or ripping beats from YouTube, just straight up.
Right. Just straight up ripping them from YouTube. And, you know, not that there's, you know, sometimes you can make a great song that
I think
way.
it's harder.
It is, right? It's just, you know, if people like to be comfortable. They don't want to be on the spot. You know what I mean? Like, it's different to write a verse while your boy's waiting for you to write a verse. You know what I mean? It's like there's a level of pressure. But it makes it organic. Mm-hmm. And it makes it like, I'm not feeling this. What if we switch it up this way? And then the song takes on a meaning of its own. Or it's like, but the songs also like get very current. Like I remember, like
it's also a truly like collaborative effort because like everyone's kind of inputting on.
That's
like,
why
what we
I always like
shit.
I'll always give Blvff half the credit of anything because he's a wizard and he literally like because I was just like a rapper before I started going there, and he helped me kind of like learn how to structure songs and like put together meaningful hooks and build yourself to the rap. Mm-hmm. To the rap verses, and now like I just feel like we're just like seamlessly, you know what I mean, and like we work well together because he, he's a Smino guy. He likes the prettier harmonies,
smoother,
right, smoother stuff, and I'm like like an Atmosphere, a Kendrick guy, like, right. I like the dark shit, and whenever we can meet in the middle, that's when our best songs are, so
most definitely,
like it's like. It's hard to say what was who or whatever it is. It just was like
no, totally.
It's like my girlfriend always talks about like the energy in the room, right? Like I didn't write that part, but I was in the room. Yeah, you know what I mean. Like there's a certain like energy to that of just like being around it. Yeah, that anybody could contribute to that. You know what I mean? Because if that person wasn't there, you might not even have thought that. You know what I'm saying? It's just like it goes where it goes.
Yeah. No, definitely. I think like that's definitely true. Sometimes with like an artist, they get too. It might be like a cockiness or like confidence that like kind of is like an anti-anxiety thing a little bit. Like they like think that they're better than everyone, or they don't want to like listen to criticism and stuff while they're making a song, maybe, or while they're doing something, or like, it could kind of get.
I tweeted something like that today. Like, just because you made it doesn't mean you have to put it out. Like you have to be comfortable with telling yourself like, no, that wasn't that good. You guys, I could do better than that. you know, and
or like that didn't convey, you know.
That's what because you have this idea, and like sometimes like that's not, I didn't say it right.
Yeah,
you know, that flow doesn't work here. Like that happened today. I was making this song, and I thought of this crazy flow, and in my head I was like, oh, let's do it. I jumped in the booth, I started doing it, and I was like, no, that sucks. Like I gotta give me a minute. I gotta rewrite this.
Right.
It just wasn't. It wasn't right.
No. Yeah. Totally.
So yeah, I mean, it's cool, man. Like I never had that until I really met Blvff. Like I was working at a Dream Recording Studios, and I loved it there, but you know, there was no in-house producer, so it's like
it was just you and the engineer,
right? You know, I'm just pulling up whatever I brought in there, and like that was great. You know, you said you loved that song, Dear Luna. That was I came in there with that beat with the exact intention of doing
just laying that
right where. Especially when we first started, it was just much more like we had no idea what the hell we were going to make when we walked in there.
Yeah. No, that's super. That's really cool, especially when you're just kind of building a song out, like like you were saying with Voodoo, like make it like you just decided to make it sad. It's like that's so cool. Like you're not necessarily like you're like kind of figuring it out as you go along to make it the best that you like.
You know, and sometimes, you know, it wasn't like that with every song, I'll say, but like most of those songs were that way. Right. Like All Good was something I had. Blvff didn't produce that one.
Does Voodoo, which one has the guitar solo at the end?
Voodoo, yeah.
Who did that shit?
Tommy Amato.
That shit hard.
Yeah, right?
Yeah. It has a really cool like sound to it.
Shout out to Tommy. Right. Yeah, Tommy, he plays with me whenever I can, really. You know what I mean? So I always like to bring that to the set. It's a different energy.
Right. Your shows are always so ill. You always got like you always got the hula hoopers and like people with like the rings, and like you got dancers a lot of the time. Obviously you have your girl who's also a performer, and she's usually up there with you, or like the last bunch of shows I've seen. So it's like you got this whole kind of thing set up.
Trying to create a circus.
It's fucking ill, dude. Most people are just like, "Oh man, I got my like third show of the year. I'm like too nervous to even think about like what songs I'm gonna do." And then they show up.
That's the whole reason I do it, dude. Like, swear, like a lot of the time, like I'm making songs with the intent on performing them. It's just what I like to do. I've always looked at it that way. I don't know why. That's so
fucking cool.
I don't know why. It's just like always kind of how I look at it. It's just what's fun to me. You know what I mean?
Well, it might go back to, I'm just like spitballing, but like you were doing the poetry in college and shit, which is like, that's not like a recorded thing. That's not like a.
I wonder even if it's like basketball.
Seeing people's faces and shit.
You know what I mean? Because like basketball, essentially you're performing.
Right.
Like, and I used to, when you were playing basketball, you feed off the crowd and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I always wonder if that's what it is, because like nothing hurts worse than a show that didn't go the way I thought it would go.
Yeah.
You know, and I hate that. I hate that feeling. But when it goes well, there's nothing better.
There's nothing better,
like,
yeah.
You know, it's that fine line. And I just like, I like the arts in general. It's not just like music. And that's where I'm kind of going with my next thing. Like I'm trying to like formulate almost like a play.
Okay, that's really cool.
And that's where my next project is going to be. It's very cinematic. It's very intent on being it. The visuals will, I don't know yet, but I don't want to say too much, but I'm like in it hard right now. Like, you know, because I've been with my girl for a year. She hasn't really seen me in like album mode, as they say. But like when I get obsessed with an idea, I'm like in it, and like that's all I can think about. That's all I'm doing. And she's just like, "What the fuck? Where are you right now? Hello?" And I'm like,
"I'm here.
Yeah, I am elsewhere." Right, like, quite literally. So yeah, man, it's just that's what I enjoy about it.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Just thinking about performing, thinking about like getting that energy. You know what I mean? Connecting with people in that way. It's not easy to do because, you know, everything is so niche now. Like, you know what I mean? And like I've been in a lot of situations this year where I was like, I don't know why. Like, why am I here? Kind of thing. Like, I'm not supposed to be in front of this crowd. Like, I'll do it. I'll make the best of it. Yeah. But then, like, you know. Like, I joke around all the time, like, I shouldn't be rapping while this person's eating a Cobb salad. But it's for real. Like, why rap is not meant for people to be eating dinner at a table while I'm performing. Right. Like, that's not, you You know, that's acoustic guitar stuff, which is like cool, but like that's not what I do.
Yeah.
You know?
No, it's true. It's kind of like you're trying to feed off the energy and this dude's just trying to eat.
You have to pay attention to rap music. It's words.
Yeah.
You know, it's energy. It's like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like,
it's funny though. I did go to I went to a show at the Blue Note.
that's fire.
I saw 2 shows at the Blue Note the last few years, but one of them was Diggable Planets.
I don't know that.
They're like a hip hop group from the 90s. And then I also saw Jizza, which was fucking sick, bro. And my buddy took me to that shit. He was just like, "Oh, I have tickets. Like, you want to come?" I was like, "Holy shit, yes!" Like, and it's like a sitting down dinner sort of vibe, but it's a jazz club, so it's like
it's a little different.
It's different.
There's
it's
still
like,
live instrumentation.
It's all live instrumentation. So there you go.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. So it's like jazzy, and it's
right. You could rap while somebody's playing,
but you're going over the 9 Lives instrumental while this dude's eating a Cobb salad, and it's like, holy shit!
It's like there's children.
There's children.
Yeah.
Fuck. You're
like,
just like
I would have adjusted my set if somebody told me this. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Damn. That's so good.
But yeah, man, it's like there's a place for everybody. Yeah, you got to figure out where it is.
I would also say that that's what a lot of people are scared of, like things like these little like things like perception wise. I know a lot of people like won't name names, but they're just like too scared to put themselves like out there, IRL, like in real, like to other people. I really just said IRL, but like it's great, bro. People are just so internet, like, you know, hide behind the screen. And
to be fair though, like, yeah, I'm not that way.
No,
but I've had to learn to be a little bit more that way, because that perception does matter. Yeah. And like, you know, I've gotten to a point where like I got to start saying no to some things. You know what I mean? Because, you know, you're not gonna get the big one if you're still doing the little ones. You know what I mean? And and like I hate that, because like I'm not that way. I want to. Oh, it's an opportunity to perform. Fuck yeah. But you know what I mean? But I don't know. A lot of people have been trying to tell me that that's just not the right way to be.
Yeah.
And I didn't get that, but I think I finally kind of understand, like, you know, I've always been the person that did every show. Like, that's like the only reason why I have any type of fan base is because they probably met me in person at a show. Legit. Like, I did like over like 90 different shows and showcases in 2017.
Yeah.
2018, because I literally moved to Queens to be closer to it, because I work at a restaurant, right?
Right.
And when I get out of a restaurant, like I'm home at like 10:30, 11, I can't then go to the city, because Long Island doesn't really have that shit popping all the time. Can't just like go there. But when I lived in Queens, I'd get home at 11.
Yeah.
And then I could just go wherever.
Right.
You know, I'd pop on the train. I'd be at catch the tail end of a showcase or whatever. And I was just doing that
all the time.
And it got me to, you know, touring in 2019, which is where I met my London people and all these different things. So like everything that I've ever built was come from in-person shit.
Right. That's so ill.
So the concept.
Can we go back to the 2019 tour after you're done talking about
this? Of course. Yeah. No, I'm just like, I don't even know what the fuck I'm talking about at this point. I'm just like,
no, the concept of like you turning down shows and like your price essentially going up, because like that's kind of like, you know,
that's not what I've ever done. You know what I mean? It's just never what I never like. I didn't really have anything go viral or nothing really. Like maybe a couple things popped a little bit, but like it's always just been slowly but surely building a real fan base, because that's the only thing that I've ever really, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but yeah.
Yo, let's go back to tour, because you were in fucking Europe playing your music for a bunch of European kids. How was that? That shit is so cool, man. Like, what the fuck?
It was.
There's a lot of people who probably say like you made it, just like, or like you're doing shit, even though, you know, it's not on like a incredible scale in terms of like.
Yeah, I mean that's just me being hard on myself.
Right.
Yeah.
It's so fucking cool, man. It's like.
Man.
It's what it is.
That was crazy, because people showed up to see me in London. And I was like, what the fuck is this? Like, like what? It was a different type of energy, and they appreciate music differently. You know what I mean? They're all about the art of it. You know what I mean? The content, the lyrics, where they don't like they don't give a fuck about like Instagram as much as we do. Like they're on it and doing the thing, but like the celebrity of it, the popularity of it is not. is not what it is over here.
Yeah.
You know, so it was interesting. Even in like, because I did Finland also. We went to Finland and did a show, which was totally different than London. Like London is like, it's like New York, just with, you know, it's just not much of a difference besides, you know, culturally, like as terms of the people.
Yeah.
Finland is totally different. Like,
right.
There was like,
where were you? It was Helsinki.
Helsinki. Yeah. The people are so proper and polite. And, you know, I'm yelling rap music in their fucking face.
Yeah.
And, like, getting them involved with stuff. Like, because, you know, I like to get the crowd involved as much as I can.
Yeah.
And they're like, people don't do that. Like, what do you, like, somebody came up to me after the show. I was like, dude, I've never seen that before.
Really?
I was like, yeah, because I had them make the beat.
Oh, right.
I had them make, you know, da-da-da-da, da-da, da, da-da-da-da. And I had the other crowd go, da, da, da-da-da-da, and I'll be like, take this, you're telling me your lip, make a wish, and I'm blowing it out, and like, and I'll do what they all say.
Oh,
and they were doing
that's cool.
And they were doing it, and I'm like, after the show, they came like, wow, like astonished.
That's insane.
You know what I mean? Because they're a part of it. You know what I mean? It makes people feel a part of it, and that's what whenever it's like a dead room like that, I always try to do that. Just make people feel like they're involved.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it was cool. That was a interesting dynamic, and you start to listen to music differently, man. I was just like rolling around with my dude Nutty P and my girl Selena and K-Dot and all these guys that I know from. This is not the first time I've been out there, because like I was telling you about before, my 2019 tour in Boston, I met the lady Selena, who hooked me up with all those shows.
Nice. That's so cool.
And so it's like when we became friends and we stayed friends, and she started working with me during the pandemic.
Yeah.
Just like, you know, helping me get organized and helping me come up with a plan for the album and all this stuff. And then when it became time to tour the album, she was just like, let's do it. You gotta come out. And man, it was awesome.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's really cool. So you had, what, 3 stops in Europe when you were there?
Technically, yeah, it was 3.
Yeah.
It was 3. The third one was more of like, you know, open mic. It wasn't my show.
Okay.
But one of them was.
Yeah.
But they were all like under her. She runs a company called the Luna Legacy.
Okay.
She has a few artists under them, under her, and one of them being me. And yeah, she just like took us to Finland and London, and
that's so fucking cool.
You know, and we were just like enjoying it. And you start listening. You get put on the music you never listen to.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I came back home just like, you know. You know what I mean? Like switching up like grime styles and different flows and stuff like that.
You're listening to like Finnish like trap like trap and shit.
Bro, there's a dude, I'm telling you, Koji Radical, Kojey. He's a British. Koji Radical, fucking ridiculous.
Really?
Like, he's so good.
I
His
gotta check
album
him out.
Cashmere Tears specifically.
Koji Radical.
So good. Guy could rap on anything.
Let's fucking go.
But like,
what does he drill?
Nah,
I feel like a lot of the London guys do drill.
They do. I mean, they
the grime shit was mad cool a few years ago.
Well, the guy
like Skepta and stuff.
Nutty P is like the guy that I go over there with. Not over there with, but he's part of the Luna Legacy.
Yeah.
He was like a huge grime DJ.
Really?
For years. Yeah. And he raps and stuff too, and produces and all these things. So he's like crazy talented.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was just cool to be around all that different sound. We made a bunch of songs out there.
Really?
And then like,
you ever just think about putting like a tape? Like,
I have it. I was ready to go.
Are you like Europe tape?
International tape. Bro, I had two my boy. I met this kid, King Jans from Finland. I met him at the show.
Yeah.
He came to New York. And he came to the studio. We relayed something out.
That's ill.
It was just like, you know, he brought me fucking Finnish chocolate. I'm like, hey, you're the man.
That's so cool.
It was cool.
Was he coming to New York anyway, or was he just like, I'm coming?
He was coming. He wasn't coming to hang out with me. He happened to just be coming after a month after I met him. I was like, yo, come through.
Yeah.
And he came through. And we made this cool ass song.
That's so cool. Sick, man. You ever do like any other shit with people from the internet?
Yeah, all the time.
Yeah.
I mean, I've done a couple features just off people I knew through Instagram and stuff like that, and whatever. But not as much. I most of the people, I only have like 2 or 3 off the internet like that.
Yeah. I would say the same for myself, actually. As funny as that is.
Because I can't, like, as much as I want to be involved in Discord and stuff like that, I just never, I'm not consistent with it. Like, I wouldn't consistently keep going on it. And I feel like that's a lot of, like, because I'm in a couple different Discord chats with a bunch of artists from all over, and you know. But actually, now that I think of it, I'm on a couple songs just because of Blvff that he produced for people that he brought us together to feature.
That's so cool.
That are coming out next year. So, like, I don't know if that counts, but it kind of counts.
Yeah. That's so cool. That's a good
because
producer
of Discord,
right there.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that's nuts. I'm in like a couple Discords for artists that I like they're like smaller artists who have like communities, like smaller communities, and there's like submit parts to those and like different things that they might do on Twitch or stuff and stuff, but I just no consistency at all.
Right. And I keep telling myself, I'm like, I want to start one for myself, like not for myself, but like for Long Island, New York, people like like-minded like us,
right,
who want to do it, but like, you know, with all the stuff that we do, that's what gets left on the wayside, because it's just like, I just don't have time to do this and the other shit. You know what I mean?
No, yeah.
So it's like, that'll be what I do when I don't have to work anymore. I
don't know. There's just like such a way, like all the time. It's like social media, like posting. Like I don't get to give myself credit for like actually posting. I just get to beat myself up for like how like it didn't get enough like likes and didn't get enough this or didn't get enough this.
Bro, I
and
can't.
It's like I could show up on time, but I'm still gonna beat myself up for like not saying something the right way. It's just like so fucked up what I do to myself. It's like.
But that's what I think. If you care about it, that you're gonna do that regardless. Is, you know, I feel the same way about a lot of things like that.
Yeah.
Like, oh man, maybe if I didn't do, maybe I wrote a better caption, or you know what I mean. I shot this shot that way. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's like, but at the end of the day, you don't also know, like, the algorithm switches up, like timing matters. Maybe people weren't on Instagram that day. Maybe if one other person retweeted it, it would have done something completely different.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you don't, like...
That's the craziest fucking thing.
Especially with Twitter. Twitter is crazy with that, because I noticed that the other day. Like, one particular person who has a huge following retweeted it, and then all of a sudden it went crazy.
Yeah.
That's literally that little thing that person saw it at that specific moment, which is why the consistency is the key, man.
Yeah.
Like, it's always going to be the key. And
true.
Like Russ,
and that's also for the algorithm. Like, consistency is super key.
But also just for, like, you know.
So I feel like every day, bro, when I feel like basically fucking every day, I'm like, Moody posted this morning. Wow. Moody posted this morning. Wow.
I'm not that much.
It's not every day?
No.
Okay. So but like your consistency is fucking good.
Well, because you make it seem that way.
It's good. Because I make it seem that way?
No, but like.
Oh, no, you.
But like,
okay. Oh, now I get what you're saying.
I just mean like.
No, you make it seem like.
Or what's the term for that? Like, I'm speaking rhetorically? No. I don't know. Whatever. It doesn't matter. But like, yeah, like, never, like, you could feel it. You know what I mean? Like, you could feel like, oh, I gotta post something. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the last couple months, I felt like I've been dragging. Like, I didn't know what I wanted to post.
Well, I noticed on your YouTube, you put a fuck ton of videos up, like maybe at the beginning of the year, and then you haven't put any videos up.
It's not cost effective, bro.
It's not what?
Cost effective.
Yeah.
I spent, you don't even want to know what I spent last year
on music videos. Yeah.
Like, absurd.
Uh-huh.
And if you ask around, and music videos aren't anymore.
Nah, dude. You got to clip all them shits up on TikTok. Because even well, this is just, even, what's that first one I was just talking about before? BuzzFeed. Yo, even that shit, like what you're talking about in that, it's like, it's almost like it works better now than it did then. Like a lot of it.
I mean, yeah, you're probably right. But
just like, clip it, like put it in a vertical filter.
This is what I mean, though. Like,
put it in a vertical filter. You like dance around that. I don't know, bro. Like you could, like certain ones of those videos. If you did like the Sopranos thing, and you did like what Blvff said, like you be doing that shit too. Like you put like a funny caption on the thing on TikTok. Right. Well, like a TikTok funny caption, because a TikTok funny caption is different than a Twitter funny caption.
True.
These audiences are different. But that's the thing, bro. Like, I don't fucking know what kids like anymore. I always feel like, and even me, like, I mean, I'm 24, but I still feel like I'm like fucking grown out of like, my boy Charlie is 19, and I make a lot of music with him, and he's like really talented musician and stuff. But I'm just like, holy shit, like, it's just like a weird one for me. I'm like, damn, even like, there's like so many levels to this shit in terms of like, being feeling out of touch, I guess. Like social media.
You know, I don't know, man. Like, because
not saying that we're out of touch. Like I don't, but I kind of am.
No,
but I also
feel
like
you, bro.
we can feel like it's
I'm
like
100% with you. Like, I feel that way too all the time. Like,
yeah.
I get it. I get that stuff because I'm telling you, man. Like, I really felt like all the little shit that goes on in this industry this year. Because like, I don't know. I felt like I was posting, like, you know, I had some pretty big opening gigs and stuff like that this year, and like everyone I knew, they're like, "Oh man, you killing it!" Yeah. And like, were you there?
Right.
Did you see what happened? Well, none lit. It wasn't this. It didn't really do that much for me, or whatever it was. And that dichotomy really fucked with me for a minute because it felt like I was being fake. You know what I mean? About myself.
Nah, bro, it's people being fake to you.
Right. Oh, yeah. Exactly. And then you realize that, like, oh man, like this person doesn't give a fuck if I was gonna do well or not.
They're just firing emojis the fuck out of the Instagram.
Exactly. Yeah. You know what I mean? And that's where like the whole Russ model of like detaching yourself from numbers and staying true to yourself and staying consistent with the things that you believe in is the answer. Yeah. You know, not to get like, you know, yoga room and turn this place into a yoga room.
No,
but like,
true.
For real, like that's really what it is.
Especially as a creative, like not looking at the numbers is very important to grow. Like
but it sucks though because you do have to look at the numbers. Like as much as you be like don't care, you have to not care about the numbers.
You have to not care, but you have to
But if something works, you got to double down on it. You know what I mean? So it's like it. So I feel you, man.
Right.
It sucks.
No, absolutely.
It sucks because
it's so disappointing when you put a song out and you check like 2 days after and it's got like 48 plays on it. And you're like, fuck.
I'm spending $3,000 on a music video and it's getting 1,000 views. And it's like, it's the same people that's getting to.
It's the same people, right?
Right, and that's where I felt like the money is not getting spent in the right ways. Yeah. Which is why I got to stop and figure out another model.
The other side to that though is that it's going to be the same people till it's not.
Right, but there's a way to do it where I don't have to spend much money.
Of course.
Is what I'm saying.
Yeah. Well, you got the camera and shit, you said. So it's like,
that's why I invested in the camera.
And you got the fucking mind creatively to say like, all right, I'm going to do like a minimal idea and I'm going to make it something that's interesting. I feel like versus like a lot of people who are just like,
like one big idea. Yeah. This is where my head's at now. Cut up so that you're not sure what it is that you're watching. Uh-huh. But it just remains interesting. Yeah. It makes you want to listen to the song. Makes you want to watch another video.
No, yeah.
And then when you build up a catalog like you've been doing, where you have albums, you have videos, and have all these things, and that when you finally find that formula that works at that specific social media time, they have the whole thing. Right. Right? You know what I mean? It's not like, oh, well, I listened to this song, I heard this song, what else? It's like, no, like, go ahead. Yeah. It's all there.
It's a rabbit hole.
Right. You're going to be here for 2 days if you care.
Right.
So
that's my favorite thing about Russ. That's my favorite thing about Russ. Is that you could go back and you could see the really, really goofy ass fucking bad videos on his Daimon channel. There's just like his label with his boy. Bro, you can see some cringe on there, but it still has like 1 million and it still has like comments. It's like fucking, it's like just so inspiring. It's like, funny holy shit.
I remember I was talking to Steve Mules, who's shooting his video now.
Okay, Steve Mules is mad cool. I like that guy a lot.
Dope dude. He was dope dude, but he was talking about when he
That's a friend of yours?
He's not, I mean, I'm cool with him. Cool. You know what I mean? You know, like. Yeah. I actually went to because I've been like so in touch with him on social media, been meaning to hit one of his ciphers. Literally throws a cipher always when I'm working. Like, bro, it's like
the Subway ciphers.
Yeah, all of them.
Bro, I want to come with you when you go to one.
He has one this Sunday, I think.
Are you gonna go?
I wish I could if I was working. Sunday's the worst day. I can't get off.
Maybe I should go.
You should. Bro.
I should. Bro, it's like real shit. Like I get nervous rapping for people. Not like doing my songs, but freestyling like and shit.
Yeah, I mean it's a different element, but
you just gotta bar up.
Yeah, you know what I mean. And then
you gotta prepare too. That's it.
Prepare, yeah.
No,
you never. No, yeah, of course. But like you never like with those things. It's hard because you never know. You know what I mean? Like what he's gonna put on or what's gonna happen.
Right. But that's where I think it's really good to just be a performer. I guess someone like you probably have a ton of different verses of yours that are just like all of your verses.
Yeah. Well, somebody once told me when I first came up, like, you a rapper? I'm like, yeah. He's like, you gotta have 10 verses, always. Nobody's ever heard before. That's not on record. 10.
Like, oh, that's mad cool. I'm never gonna forget that now.
10. Always. No, it's not on an album. It's not on a record. Never rapped it before. Like, only for that.
Yeah.
So I always went with that. So no.
Wow, that's fucking sick.
My best verses nobody's ever heard before, unfortunately. But anyway, like, what was I gonna say? He was telling me how when he first started working with Russ, like he was doing his thing and editing the video, and he's like, no, it's not. That's not it. That's not how my fans want to view it. You know what I mean? So he is very tuned in with exactly how he does everything.
Right.
You know what I mean? And he's like, I hired you because you're fired. You could do anything by yourself, but like, I want simple shit. You know what I mean? Like, no disrespect to you. Like, it's dope. But like, this is what they like. You know what I mean? And that's why you see him doing the same video of him walking out.
Right. Every show. Yeah.
So
I can't even watch some of those videos because I'm like, it's the same fucking thing.
I mean,
and I love Russ.
The one with the pyramids was crazy.
Oh, absolutely crazy. That's absolutely crazy. The crowds he pulls in like certain places are just like, it's like, wait, what the fuck?
That's because he didn't play his Italian card.
It's like, Russ?
He looks Middle Eastern.
No, that's big facts. Yeah. That's big facts. The first time I heard him, I was like, what is this guy?
He knows, bro. Like, he knows all of his demographics like that. You know, we're talking about like social media and all this stuff, and like, you know, this is the independent king, essentially.
Yeah.
You know, being that in tune with every aspect was crazy to me. Like,
well, I remember too, like hearing about when he was like, I first heard his shit in like 2016, 2017, and I was like, I really liked his music, so I was like on a couple songs on SoundCloud and stuff, and then I remember being like first like listening to his interviews, and he was like, yeah, like I'm independent. I looked up like Cara Lewis, like the best touring booking agent in the industry, and I just like hit her up, and I mean at the time I'm sure he had like fucking a ton of views on the internet, but it's like his understanding of the industry to be like, yeah, I'm gonna stay independent, but I'm gonna like basically outsource the same industry people that they use anyway, and he like knew them and knew their names and shit. It's like, dude is just really business savvy, and it's insanely business savvy. Like next to because I mean the music is cool, but like he's never put out anything that's like cutting edge.
Well, that's what it is for me.
You know,
it's like that's where I'm like, I like Russ.
He doesn't add that. He doesn't add that much,
music,
right?
You know what I mean? Like, and that's what I feel like gets lost in it as an independent artist, is that like that truly like groundbreaking, like life-changing movement starting music.
Right.
I haven't heard it from an artist that's doing all that shit by himself.
Right.
You know, and that's what I want.
Right.
For myself or whatever. Like, that's what I want to do. That's what I like. You know what I mean? You want to be a Nirvana who changes the course of fucking. Obviously, that's a lofty goal, but like, you know, you strive and you fall short and you end up successful, whatever.
Right.
So I don't know. Like, and that's why I still believe in like having a team. Like, not that he doesn't have a team. Of course he does, but like, I would sign if it was the right deal. I don't give a fuck.
Oh, of course, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't know why there's like such this stigma of like, oh, staying independent. Like you know what I mean? Like, who cares? Like,
yeah, people are just like, it's kind of a weird.
If you own your masters and like you don't have to pay them that much money, who cares?
Well, yeah. Also, in like my understanding, if it makes you a bigger artist, it's business. Like if you're not like known and then they invest in you and you become more known and they're making a ton of money off you, like that's kind of how it like works. Like you couldn't have gotten to here without them, really. And I'm not saying that that's like right at all. Like it's totally like labor exploitative kind of like, but you know, it's just like how it is, bro. Like that's what like, you know, they do. Like, and it's like fucked up, but like, you know, like I feel like you need to like just be smart, like have a lawyer, have some leverage maybe. Like if you're already touring, like someone like you, like you're already playing shows, you already have all this experience like live on tour. It's like there's certain things that they might like offer you and shit that you could just be like no, like I already know like my fan base and stuff, and like we don't need this like part of the thing. So like we or like just different things like that. I feel like that are like, you know, having your like independent business and shit in like order is just like super important, even if it's not like across the board, because they could definitely help you with shit like emailing and stuff like that. Like,
well, yeah,
you know what I mean? Like connections and like getting you bigger. But like, let's say you're already doing like a circuited tour and you're like going to like mad different big venues already. Then it's like, well, there's certain things that you could almost just be like, fuck you. Like we don't like, you know, I don't know. It's so fucking hard, dude. Like that's the other thing. Like think about how hard it is to make it to like the NBA or like the NFL. And then it's like we're doing the same thing right now in music in like a time where like, yeah, I don't know. It's a beautiful time because you could create like all you want, but then also it's like this weird like hyper comparison thing. It's super easy. Like I feel like everyone makes a rap song and they're like just like an influencer, and I'm like, wait, you're rapping now?
Well, that's
and
what's
like,
happening.
And now
too.
you're putting
like,
me in the same boat as
bro,
that.
The guy Speed has more monthly listeners than like J. Cole. Like
who's Speed? I show
Is that
Speed?
his name?
I don't know.
He's
like a YouTube rapper or something?
No, he's a YouTuber.
He's a YouTuber, and he has more monthly
listeners. He's the guy that
screams.
screams,
Really? He has more monthly listeners than Cole?
Twitch guy? He put out like a joking like song, and it like was killing it.
Okay.
So, to your point, like I don't know. Like I don't know the answer to that. Like,
yeah.
That's influencers doing what they're doing. I don't know, but like at the end of the day, art always wins. Like you would assume, people will gravitate towards that, and those people don't sell tickets to nothing.
Yeah,
you know, those online people. Like I saw, like, you know, I had a situation where I was at a festival this year, and this 500,000 followers, like in her city, I outsold her on tickets.
Wow, goddamn. Right.
I didn't even like, but
right.
me?
Right.
I thought this was an opportunity. I was going to play in front of a huge crowd.
Right. Fuck.
What are we doing here? Like, this is crazy. But
that is insane.
But then the next day, right? Next day, I go to my boy's show. He plays in Straight from the Path.
Yeah.
Metal band.
Yeah.
60,000 followers.
Uh-huh.
Right?
Yeah.
They're opening for The Devil Wears Prada.
Oh, wow.
At Irving Plaza.
Yeah.
Sold out.
Yeah.
Sold
out
Irving
Plaza. Yeah. Right.
So what do the numbers mean? Like,
right.
Not much. And it's interesting when you talk about like the metal fan base. That's a diehard fan base.
Oh yeah.
They buy the merch. They know every word to every song.
Yeah.
They'll kill each other in the audience.
They
and
go
come
to
back
the shows.
with a smile.
Yeah.
They'll break their leg and be happy to come back.
Yeah.
Different.
You
know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whereas like, it's a lot of casuals in hip hop now because it's become pop.
Everyone's also too cool.
Because it's become pop.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And what happened with rock and roll when it became pop? It died.
Yeah.
You know, we're like on that cusp, which is why like you're going to start to see, I'm sure, like a lot of crossover music, which you're already starting to see.
Yeah.
Which I don't know. I don't know what the answer is, but
right.
There's still a window. Hip hop's not going to just go away. It's just like it's not going to be in the front of the camera for much longer. It can't be.
Right.
Nothing is.
Dude, I love like certain like spin-offs of, like I don't know. I love like Lil Peep, Juice WRLD. Like I love the punk rap, but then like some of the punk rap that's like become like recently.
Well, those guys were good.
I know, like MGK making like punk rap now and shit, and like different people. Like it's just like, what the fuck is going on? Like
I don't know.
XXX, really fucking good. Like probably shitty ass dude. XXXTentacion, crazy artist. Crazy.
He was so good.
He was so fucking good. And like it's just a shame that like we're left with like people that are just like not even close to as good as him or like Juice WRLD in terms of like their creative.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like
vision.
You would hope people would step in and be like more of like management figures and stuff like that.
Yeah.
To these young artists, but no.
Yeah. Do you ever feel like because I was talking about like analytics, because like there's like it's not everyone knows like what's gonna pop out of the other side these days, because like simulations, analytics, like I feel like there's so much like data on everything. Like you ever feel like labels just don't take a chance. Like I feel like even movies, like you just see sequels of things or like remakes of things and all the
Yeah.
time. It's like never like new ideas or like
Nobody
new
does.
shit. Like there's no labels investing anymore in like new kinds of music. Like I'm even reading George Clinton's autobiography from Funkadelic,
Uh-huh.
and it's like in the late '60s. There's like so much crossover. Like people starting to. Like jazz musicians like Miles Davis and shit started making like more electronic music. They wanted like electronic basses, synths. They wanted to make more psychedelic shit because like, everyone started taking acid and shit in the '60s. And that's what kind of like people wanted. But like even back then, there were like probably certain like interesting executives and people who were like, yeah, I like this guy. We're willing to take the chance. Like I like this like funk music or I like this kind of music. And like I feel like now it's like super fucking like, did it do well on TikTok? How did it perform? Well, we
That's
didn't.
what I'm saying.
It's like what the fuck?
There's no such thing as an AR,
Right.
A&R, bro. Like it's like strictly based off numbers. Like people are, like you said, they just remake movies, and like we've literally seen all of the great actors of our generation just get sucked up by Marvel movies.
Yeah.
And they don't make anything else because that's what makes money.
Yeah.
You know, and it's the same way with music. You know, if
Yeah.
you don't have.
Are you a superhero movie guy?
I like them, but I hate that aspect of it.
Yeah.
Like, give me Hugh Jackman back. Like,
Yeah.
Can I get Hugh Jackman back? That man was in the Prestige, and you have him running around with claws in his hands. How long? How long? I'm just asking.
Not
how
for
long?
life, bro. 'Cause
Yeah,
he's making
it's
like
over.
a
Why
200
not?
million
I don't blame him. I
gazillion.
blame you, the Marvel.
Oh my god, dude, I can't stand some of those. Like Avengers 5. They're like, let's go watch Avengers 5. I'm like, bro, I seen this already. Like,
Yeah.
fuck, dude, I can't. I'm like, but I'm a
Listen,
hater.
it's
I'm also a
entertaining.
hater. It is entertaining.
It's entertaining. It's good.
I
But
can't
like,
I can't even say that because I know I'm a hater. But I'm also just like I can't like if you want me to go to that movie, I'm busy. Like,
I'm out. I'm not doing it. I respect it, man. It's just it's frustrating because I know so many filmmakers who can't get their shit made because why would they? That's that people are gonna sell and gravitate towards it. Now you're seeing with online streaming with shows like Netflix and all these different HBO Max, fucking whatever it is.
oh yeah, there's a
shows
million.
are more important now.
Yeah.
almost like and that's how people view things.
Yeah.
And I'm sure with the next technological advancement, you know, music will change again. You know what I mean? So it's, you know, like you said, like you got to stay current. You got to keep your nose to the ground, or ear to the ground, nose to the ground. What is it?
Nose to the grindstone, ear to the ground. I think. Right.
Heard. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I think so.
I don't know. You're better at words than me for like
I
phrases.
know, but
like,
I fuck up idioms often.
Yeah.
So, whatever. It doesn't like, but just the gist of it, like staying on top of what's current, but also like bringing your shit to it.
Yeah.
And like I
feel
know,
like
man,
listening to current music as an artist, putting music out currently is like your duty a little bit.
Yeah, you have to just listen to it. And you have to be inspired by
right.
it.
I kind of
like,
get a little upset with people who are like completely tapped out of like what's going on, and then they're putting songs out and they're like, "Go listen."
Us to
it's
listen
like,
to
wait,
it.
what
like,
the fuck?
You have
though?
no
like,
idea what's happening.
Right. Exactly. I'm like, did you listen to the SZA? Like, they're like, no, I haven't even. Who's SZA? I'm like, well, bro,
because like that
like
you
what
to.
you might just be making the same song that was from like 2 years ago that like we're all done with. It's like, bro,
or how
like,
about the fact that like SZA's using like she used like imagery that I was like starting to go towards.
Really?
Yeah, and I'm like, all right, well now I can't use that.
Is that like SOS like that or no?
No, just like the water. I was very water heavy with my next project. Just I had a song called Sink and a song called Let It Pour and like things like that. I got to be careful of that now because now why everybody's fucking reposting SZA with the water moving.
Yeah.
I can't dive in to the water, no pun intended.
Yeah.
On a water idiom because she is one of the biggest artists in the world is doing it. Like
we're gonna make your whole project around it, or
no? It was just an aspect.
You're not gonna be sitting on the diving board.
No. Doing Princess Diana photos? No.
Yeah. That cover is pretty cool. This is
fire.
One. Yeah.
Fire. I don't get how it connects to the music, but that's just me.
Yeah.
No,
but
yeah, man, it's like it's tough. Like nobody's just gonna find you and like think that you're groundbreaking. You have to like provide numbers. I wish. I fucking wish. I mean, I hope. I'm sure maybe somebody will get lucky that way, but like, it just doesn't happen. And like the new artists, you got to think of it too. Like you were saying, like they were experimenting with synths and stuff.
Yeah.
With the trippy because everybody was taking acid. Like, think about what everybody's doing now.
Right.
They're doing Xanax and stuff like that. Like you're saying, like if we're numbing ourselves, isn't that what the music we're gonna make?
Yeah.
Thoughtless, kind of.
No, that's true. Like we have like a ton of like opioid problems, and
it's more of that stuff. That stuff, heroin and stuff like that. That you can't. You're just
right.
You know, you're not. Like I don't know what's better or worse, but like.
Also, like everyone is depressed these days. It's kind of crazy.
Everybody has that spin, like, and it's because of what we're talking about, man. Like it's.
Yeah, it's true.
Trust me, man. I was going through it. Like I feel you, like 100% on that, because you lose your identity. Like, you don't even know who the fuck you are anymore.
Yeah.
Like, does this suck? Like because nobody watched it? Like no. Like the algorithm changed.
Yeah.
You know, and then you'll be like, you'll ask like your mom, did you see the video I posted? What video?
Right.
My mom hasn't seen it.
Yeah.
Didn't show up on her feed.
Just didn't show
My
up.
mother.
Yeah.
Like what?
Right.
There's no answer.
I posted the other day. I re-swiped. First thing on the top, sponsored ad. Looking for my post. I think it blocked it from me. I was like, what the fuck? Did I post? I like refreshed again. And it was like 5 minutes ago you posted. And it was like further down. I was like, wait, what the fuck? Like,
there's no really rhyme or reason. I feel like it's just
totally.
Like, you just gotta try to stay consistent with all of it. And like I know for a fact that I gotta get on TikTok and get fucking around with that stuff.
Yeah. But even then, once you're on it, it's still not easy to stay consistent. It's
I know. It's with anything. Like, with anything. Because you get discouraged, man. Like, oh, that didn't work. Let me go back to the one thing that I do know works.
Right.
But it's not about what works, really. It's about getting to the next level.
Yeah.
You know? Like.
Oh, wait. I wanted to ask you one other thing. Just about, like, repping Long Island and shit.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think, like, the relevance is of, like... back in the day, you'd have to like dominate a certain like area to become a big rapper. Like you had to be the biggest like local rapper, and still people say that's how it works. Like you want to like be the biggest local rapper, like where you're from first, and then from there. But like with the internet, do you think that shit still holds like a lot of like, or do you think it kind of like doesn't matter anymore?
Well, you know what's funny? Like I run into a lot of people on like Twitter and stuff like that or whatever. They've never performed live before.
Yeah.
And like have fan bases online. Like I think that's super problematic. You know what I mean? Like I think you gotta like, I'm not to say you have to own your city or whatever, you're the guy or whatever, but like everybody should know who you are.
Right.
Like people should know who you are enough that if when you go out there, they could rep you. And then all of a sudden all Long Island's or wherever you're from's on your back because, you know, some people knew you know what I mean? And that's how that shit spreads. So yeah, I think you gotta earn your stripes just like anything else. And you turn your stripes, you gotta start at home before anything.
No, most definitely.
But, you know, you don't have to blow up in New York.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You just have to prove that you're worthy, I think.
Yeah. No, definitely. All right, bro. That's cool.
Man, the myth.
Yeah. I agree. With that,
Mr. Waz.
Mr. Moody, this was fucking awesome, man.
Appreciate you, man.